this is Barbie. The reason I'm showing you this today is because we're talking about Barbie, specifically the Barbie movie. The Barbie movie came out recently, and I wanted to talk about it. I saw it not in theaters. I had to bootleg it on my phone, but still got the same experience. And to be honest, I was pretty excited for this movie. Not like how other people were, but just because I saw that Will Ferrell was in it and a lot of big name actors is in it, I got pretty excited. But I'm gonna talk about my opinion, talk about the plot. But first, I feel the need to talk about a little bit about the backstory and the history behind the doll Barbie. Barbie was created in 1955 and created by the company Mattel. But the actual person responsible for Barbie was Ruth Handler and her late husband. Her husband was the one responsible for the mechanics and the actual build of Barbie, but she was the one responsible for publicizing and the idea of Barbie. Now, the reason she made Barbie was because she noticed that back at this time that kids was not as girls and boys when they were playing. It wasn't really equal play. Boys had, they could pretend to be a cowboy, they could pretend to be an astronaut, detective, cop. They could be, anything they could imagine because the market was so big and they had a variety of different toys. Little girls, they could pretend to be mom. That's about it. If they wanted to play fashion, they had little cardboard cutouts and they could put different cardboard clothes on cardboard cutouts. That's all little girls had at that time. They didn't have a variety of different toys. So she thought that she could make something that could spread the imagination of little girls at that time. So with one trip she took to Germany with her family, she went in the store and she saw that they had this doll. I think the name was Ruth or something of the doll. And the doll was a character based off a prostitute. Now, the character was supposed to be like this gag gift that you would give to somebody to insinuate you want to bang them. But Ruth Handler didn't see it as that. She saw the doll as this 12-inch figure that could be used as a mold, as her idea to bring more imagination to little girls' lives. So she bought a couple of them, brought them to the US, and started making molds, started to change the mold. The mold virtually didn't really change, except for, they shaved off the nipples because their parents didn't like that. And they changed some of the sizing of like the neck and stuff so you can put different clothing items on them. Long story short, they made the Barbie how they wanted her. They named her Barbie after Ruth Handler's daughter, Barbara. So they put Barbie out in the line, and Barbie was supposed to be this doll that helped girls imagine and could imagine they could be anything they want. So that's the brief history of Barbie. If you want more history about this creation, I recommend watching the documentary about the toys that made us on Netflix. It's a Netflix special. They have a bunch of different specials on like the Transformers and Star Wars about like the 80s. It's a great show, and they did one on Barbie. I watched it recently for this video. It's a great series. But the reason I talk about the history is because it is very prevalent in this movie. I'm going to go ahead and say, spoiler alert, I'm going to try not to say too much, like main plot, but just in case I say something that would ruin it, so I recommend you go watch the video, or watch the movie, and then watch my video. So now I'm going to talk about the plot. So the plot is very simple, effective. I like it. It's starring Margot, I can't say her name, Margot Robbie. I said it. And Ryan Gosling as Ken, Margot Robbie as Barbie. I think those are two perfect castings for those characters. And, I don't think anyone had, like, any specific expecting for these characters because, they're dolls. They had no personality before. But they put some good personality behind these characters, some good emotions. Both characters have conflicting emotions. They're both trying to find out who they are, but in different ways. Ken is, surrounded by this world that is dominated by women, but when he gets in this world that is dominated by men, he sees that, he really wants this world. So when he goes back to the Barbie land, he tries to make it that world. And when Barbie is surrounded by the world that is dominated by women, and then she goes in the real world, she sees that it sucks, and, she gets depressed. It's a very, good development of these characters that didn't have character at all before. Like, what? Before, they just, Barbie liked shopping. Ken was the boyfriend. But now they have some good character. But I think the plot is very simple, but, not too simple. It's a good driving plot that keeps everything in motion, keeps everything going. I think that it has a good supporting cast, good cast in general. I think that everyone, there's no, bad actors, or no one that is doing a bad job in this movie. So I think that that's a good plus on this movie. My basic thoughts on this movie is that it is a good movie. I think it's a really good movie, and it has a lot of good feeling moments, and to be honest, it is empowering for women. And I know what you might be thinking, especially if you're a woman watching this. You can't be saying this. You can't be saying that. You have a penis on you. Look, even that, I'm just saying this from a perspective of a guy. Okay, I will admit that. But from my perspective, I felt that this movie was pretty empowering and not too overbearing. Like, hey, you're awesome. You're perfect. You can do it. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Too much that whole stick where it's just too much and you're like, this is cringy. I don't like this. Had just the perfect amount of, hey, look, you're not perfect. No one is. And whoever says they're perfect, they're fucking lying to you. You're not beautiful. You're just you. And that's fine. That's okay. You're just you. You can strive to be perfect, but you never will be. You can be good. You can be awesome. But you cannot be perfect. And that's a good message. Not just for women, but just for guys, for people, for kids, for anyone in general. Now, I'm not trying to take away from the whole empowerment from women. It's trying to, it's a good message towards women to try and be like, hey, take the burden off yourself. You're good. It's okay, And I think it's a good message. Now, one thing that I do think that it does a little too much is the whole kind of men are assholes, which it doesn't, how do I say this? It's not like the whole, oh, you suck. Men suck. They absolutely suck. But it's just saying that, oh, men, are the problem.
What did you just say?
Holy shit, it's the Green Goblin.
No, it's the feminist goblin.
Feminist goblin? So, what do you do?
I defend the rights of women, attack men, and work at the local Starbucks as a barista.
Sounds kind of lame. Anyways, what are you doing here?
I'm here because you said men are not the root of the world's problems.
Oh, yeah, about that. Yeah, I was just saying.
Well,
you gotta let me finish. Well, you can't just keep... Okay, if you want me to finish...
Well, you want me to finish?
Keep it... It's very immature. If you're a feminist, I'm a feminist too.
Time for talk is over. Time to die.
What are you gonna do? You're a feminist.
Oh yeah? I will show you what a feminist can do, bitch.
Oh yeah, how about you come show me what you got? Oh man, you are really short. Oh motherfucking God. Oh God. So long, chucklefuck.
Ow. 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 Oh, no. Ow. Ow.
Then they lived happily ever after.
Ow, 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 ow. 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 Ow.
Feminist
Ow.
Yeah.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Second Amendment, bitch. I guess you're you're a bitch. Look, I'm just saying that, look, men can be the problem. But just saying that just men are the problem is the problem. There's no just like gray, black and white. The world is gray, okay? It is evil. And you have to understand that. Men are evil. Women can be evil. Fucking little children can be evil, okay? You little chihuahua, those things spawns of Satan. There's no, like, just black and white. Everything is just gray, okay? But there is corruption where men are sexist. Men are sexist. But I think the movie closing out, I don't think the movie throughout needs to be. I think closing out, it just doesn't do a good job of saying that, hey, we are all equal. It's just like, hey, you guys fucked up. Go over here. So that's my only complaint. Even then, it doesn't ruin the movie. It just, kind of ruins the message, if that makes sense. I think the movie is a good, solid 8 out of 10. I don't want to say, you know what, fuck it, 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10. It's a great movie. Especially, I love the set design, the costume design. Everything is colorful. I love how you can tell the difference between the Barbie world and the real world. Everything's doom and gloom in the real world, and you go to the Barbie land, everything's like plastic and fake, but everything is like colorful and bright, and it's, you love it, you can tell. But that's my opinion. I do love this movie. It's a great movie. That's about it. Sorry that my content's been a little all over the place. But I gotta now hide a body. I did just commit manslaughter. So, yeah. That's about it. Bye.